Hey, 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 what up, Valtopia? Look at me with my readers. What's happening, everybody? It's Val. It's Val Cripps. Hey, honey, if you're new to me, say hello, I'm new. Who are you? What's going on? And welcome to all of my, I'm touching my eyes. It's so hard not to do. So, I did that for you, and I want you to feel the energy that has shifted in today's cosmic stream of beingness after everything that all of us are collectively experiencing together. And today's topic that I put in the comments is just as applicable today in the energy we're in today, and would be just as applicable in any other live stream I would talk about. So I'm experiencing the truth of that moment because of a continuation of support with my client and a realization of how we have to trust in our integrity of being and do what we each individually know to stoke the nourishment of that integrity so that the decisions and the beingness and the connection that we are, sorry, phone call, to the choices that we make every day, so that is aligned and focused. And this is so, I really want this to come through because it's really powerful. Let me put on my little glasses. Because this is, when we have a circumstance that takes us out of our routine and is shocking to our nervous system and freaks us out, right? We're gonna make choices differently. And the truth is, most of us that came through and learned a lot of self-help and came to a better place had to do so and had to find peace and quiet in the middle of chaos. And we had to look at our situation and go up and outside of it. So this is what we continue to do. And I found myself falling into an old paradigm way of thinking despite my desire to guide and leadership in the new paradigm, meaning we are capable of breathing, we are capable of tuning in, we are capable of choosing, we are capable of connecting in to our energy from a place of collected focus and intuition. Right? So, for example, in my old life experience, I felt the truth of the limitation of what was around me. And I let that stop me for a long time. Hey, Angie. And I let that stop me. And in the middle of the stress and the feeling of being in survivor mode of that situation, I didn't have a lot of options available to me to make decisions to help myself. And so some of the decisions I was making were just about fatigue and not letting myself come into a better place. And here's what I want you to know as you're watching this, and as you may be having a feeling of crisis in your life, no shit, many people might be feeling that, it doesn't matter what it is, you still get to nourish your presence and peace of mind and your focus, because the decisions we all make come from a different place when we're not in that place of connection to our sense of safety, to the truth of the moment. And of course, if you're in a feeling of crisis, that can overtake everything. But we have the capacity to create in each moment from a place of truth. And this isn't me saying people are not experiencing a crisis right now. This is about how do you handle a crisis? How do you stay present and in your leadership with your truth? And if you're a guide and a leader, and most of you watching me are, that tune into this stream, you will want to take note of where you might be collapsing on your clients and for yourself, because you're following into the old paradigm of belief because of the crisis. Do you feel me on this? This was hard for me to get the word out, but this is what I was trying to say. Don't let the crisis trick you out of all the growth and expansion and embodiment you've done. The work that we do is to feel our awareness, to know our body, and understand what it means for us, and to let us feel the truth of that and to create from that space. That's a very different space of creation and being than to, that's one of surrender to our connection to the all it is, to our own life force, to our ability, to many possibilities of being, versus submitting to one program that's right in front of us that seems like the only thing we can do. Hey, Fred. Hey, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for joining. I see so many names. I see Fred, Doug, Monica. Hi, everyone. Joanne says, you got hit with a wave 3 hours ago. It knocked you at your feet. So that's the thing. Be mindful as your own body responds to the situation of crisis of how it's trying to trick your mind out of its own capacity to come up with solutions and to resonate into the truth that you've been developing over all these years now. To know who you are and to remember who you are. And to, I feel heart chakra. To stay open in your heart chakra, to stay grounded, and to allow yourself to move energy in and of and through you. If anybody needs any support with that, I've been talking about it for years, and it's all on YouTube, and I'll be showing up live, and we're doing it right now. So when our body responds to a state of crisis, there's some automatic responses most of us have. No shame in your game. So becoming aware of how you respond to crisis can let you know where you're having maybe an irrational response versus a very well-needed alert response. And do you want to be running around going, oh my God, that's not you, right? Like that may be something that's programmed into you, or maybe an experience you've had in your mind, but you get to choose exactly how you resonate with each and every moment. And the more nourished you are in your awareness of how you feel and what it means for you, how you're breathing, how are you tight or loose? What does that mean for you? Are you receiving any information that could be useful right now? Are you connected telepathically to the people that matter most to you because you are anyway already? Are you aware of that connection on some level more now deeply? Are you willing to surrender to the truth of what's right in front of you because you're having all this time to be still and notice things about you and your family that you haven't had an opportunity to before? Are you willing to surrender these moments and for us to collectively resonate together as a body of truth and faith and heart space creation, which, by the way, is so much more powerful than those that are submitting to the program? And that doesn't mean that I don't have any respect for each and every one of us that will experience anything and everything we're experiencing in our life, from life to death. Do we still choose to trust ourselves and release the old program and I'm talking to those of us that have invested money and life and years to release allegiances and attachments to parts and places of our DNA code that don't resonate with us in this lifetime, that we've chosen to come and be and to experience no matter what. Are you with me on this? Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me put on my, I need a stapler. I'm trying to stay above it all, but man, the 3D stuff is creeping in. My parents are operating from fear and panicking. Look, I'm not bagging on anybody that might actually be in the middle of a situation where it's grim, because I've had some friends who have friends in Italy, and it doesn't sound like, I'm not trying to spread the fear. This is what I'm saying to you. I have an experience before all of this paradigm shift that we're going through, where there was a crisis with the client. And the crisis shifted us into a place of the old paradigm dominating our choices. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And we've all been learning all these tools and techniques of how to assist our body and nervous system to collaborate in a more powerful way of resonating and being that's very effective no matter what. Do you follow me on this? So, no, I know, Sherry, but what I'm saying is no matter what we experience in our 3D, we're learning, we have so much powerful tools in how to navigate our moments, and we must be mindful where parts of ourselves are still operating in the old paradigm of fear. And that doesn't mean you're not going to be afraid. And that doesn't mean you're not going to be horrified or shit's not going to go down. But how are you going to understand your capacity to face it? That's what I'm trying to say. You're not the person that's laying there helpless that got hurt before. You are not helpless. You are not incapable of rising up this time because you're different. You're different now. Everyone's different now. And those of us who've been doing this work have embodied this next level version of ourselves. We get to show the people who haven't, don't know that yet, how to navigate this experience from a more grounded, compassionate, present place that's going to change the dynamic of it. Right? Yeah, Joanne just stepped back from Facebook and took time for you. Yeah, you're going to have to do what you need to do to keep the twinkle in your eye and the sparkle in your heart. And this is true for someone who would have gone through crisis before this crisis too. Do you feel me? Like, just because we're all beginning to feel this level of crisis, many people have been having to operate and grow. Like me, I did a few years ago. I was in a terrible crisis and had to rise up out of it. I've been in several since. Like, life can be a crisis. Now we're all reaching a community collective level crisis together. So isn't it amazing that so many of us have spent the last few years training in how to release the trauma of crisis and be present with our limitless capacity to heal and regenerate in the moment, and to be abundant and to come up with ideas and solutions in the moment. Let us be resilient, right? And let us be flexible and allow our energy to open. And I know all these amazing tricks about how to do all the energy stuff, and it's instant, you guys. The energy is instant. What isn't instant is our attachment to all of our old ways of being. And this is like, for some people, me talking about this right now won't make any sense. But for those of you that have been watching me and doing the work, it's going to make so much sense, because you'll say, I get what you're saying, Val. I get that. I get that, that no matter what the situation is, let me be mindful of all the work I've done to see how strong and resilient I am, and to not forget that, and to not go back to the old story of me in this moment of my life right now that I'm experiencing, that each of us are experiencing. Are you going to be the old version of you, or are you going to still lean into the leadership of the version, hey Michael, the version of you that trusts and has faith and is connected into the magnetism of your life force, and that receives ideas through your crown and vision through your third eye and information through your ears, and speaks and opens and heals and tones through your throat and opens your heart so you can connect telepathically and energetically to all of the people around you that are also open and resonant, and open up your creative centers down here, and you know that your boundaries are set because you act in a way that honors all of this that I'm talking about, and you're rooted down into the earth, so you have the energetic support there that will make all the difference in everything, every moment that we're all about to go through, no matter what happens, right? Sherry says you're supposed to go to Mexico on Tuesday, and there are people telling me I shouldn't. I don't feel the way they do. I don't feel fear about going. Well, Sherry, I mean, I feel like I would honor the worldwide shutdown for this 2 weeks or whatever, that there's a concept of a possible spread of this thing. And I would also allow yourself to be present with that everybody's getting a reboot right now. And all of us have a chance to revisit everything. And we also don't have to resonate with a sense of panic and fear in our own equilibrium, in our own frequency. You don't get to control other people ever. Remember, that's what we've all learned. You get to mind yourself. Look at this hair. We get to mind ourselves. And this message would be perfectly applicable. This video that I'm streaming today is powerful before 3 weeks ago, a year ago, and now. So even though it seems like I'm jumping on a bandwagon, and I am, because I got hit with it today, that for the last couple months, I've been partially, and we all live in split choices to different paradigms at any one time. We're all evolving constantly. The more work you can do to be aware of where you're not focused in your intention and compassion and beingness, the more you'll find out where your leaks are and where you feel helpless, where you feel depressed or anxious or fucked up, and where you can shift that energy so you can be of service and be powerful in your life and not feel helpless. I'm not saying we never feel helpless. We don't have control over everything, but we do get to choose our own awareness of our own places. We might be still buying into some program that because we've gone through a crisis, we can't get the fuck back up and make shit happen. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. And you know what? My energy might become so abrasive in the next few weeks and years that only the raw truth will come through. And it's because I'm moving through these own landmines and barriers myself. And when you bust through a limiting belief for yourself and realize that you've been hanging on to it and letting it infiltrate through your experience, and that it's actually bringing you and other people down and in a holding pattern, I'm not available for that, no matter what is going on. So see where you have in your moment right now, as you're hunkering down, places where you are letting yourself be available for anything less than what's aligned to your nourished well-being, where you can focus in devotion to your breath and your focus and the best connection to your best inspiration coming through, and your most calm heartbeat and heart rate. Your grounded, centered presence goes a long ass way in your own experience, and it ripples out far beyond you. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Hello, everybody. Whew. There's this feeling when there's a crisis that you want to go into compassion. The healer in you will want to be in compassion mode. And it is important to be compassionate. And it's important to see everyone as fully capable. Don't let yourself be fooled that we don't have solutions, and that we don't have love in our heart, and that we aren't feisty motherfuckers standing up for our own truth of being, that our souls aren't going through to exactly where they're meant to be. We are alive and gonna be as graceful and loving. Did y'all see that beautiful video of Italian people singing together because they've been in quarantine, and they're singing and and let's take this situation out of it. Let's say something terrible happened to you and you had financial obligations that you had invested in before the situation happened, and you had to pull it together. Would you want the person guiding you to get all soft and feel sad and let you slip? I mean, not that that's what can happen, but in the energy of it? Or would you want them to trust that, of course, you're a fucking supernova, and even when a crisis happens, everything is conspired to support and be with you, and that you are allowed, right? The old paradigm says we're not allowed. Let's just take it out of this current context. Let's just take it into your story. When you're a little kid, you weren't allowed, and that became this thing. And now that you've done all this self-help work, you realize that you are the creator of your own energy in each moment, and that vastly alters how you experience other people and yourself. And that changes the dynamic of each and every experience you have. And so in a moment when you have a crisis, don't forget that. Don't let the PTSD and fear re-trigger in your body, mind, and being, and not allow you to stay present with who you are, what's your vision, who you came here to do and be, what is your main frequency, vibration, how do you roll? How do you roll in each and every moment, no matter what? Who are you? I want to hear about it. I want to know. I want you to put it in the comments, or come to Valtopia if you like to keep it more private. I want us to own a frequency all the time. My message doesn't change from yesterday to tomorrow to... I go back and repost from 3 years ago, and of course the content is going to shift based on what we're going through. But the truth of the matter is that crises or not, I see each of you as fully loving, capable, compassionate, resilient, and connected to your peace. And if you don't know how to get into a state of grounded, centered peace, I'm your bitch. I got you. We got all kinds of free content and training. I'll be coming on live. We can ground and center. But it's not just about the peaceful healing part. It's about you owning your sovereignty and knowing your capacity to make decisions and decide, and to not need an outside source of support to come into your leadership. That is what we're talking about. And that is what's going to be so perfect right now for all of us. You feel me? All right, I want to pull a card for this reading, for this live stream. Hi, Sloan. Whoa. Yeah. So it's time to get real and right about your own truth of who are you? Who are you in times of crisis? You know, maybe this is like, we should have all done this exercise from the beginning of our self-development and becoming a healer and a guide and a mentor, right? Who are you in a time of crisis, and how do you lead your clients and your patients and your people through crisis? Where do you still believe in the beautiful law of the universe that we're trusted and held and supported in connection to each other? And where are you still feeling attachment to a lack of trust and a sense of separateness? Let's work on that. Let's release that attachment in your body and shift it. Let's do energetic clearing right now, as soon as possible, to get your body shifted into a state of vessel where you are in a state of love and open connection to your resilience and powerful beingness. Hi, Naisha. So, meditation right now is ideal, and many people don't know how to be still. And so who are you in a time of crisis? Do you still have time? What kind of meditation do you do in a state of crisis? And, it'd be really good to write down who you've been in a state of crisis in the past. And then also to see where did you rise up and really have a sense of courage and strength, and where did you maybe fall short, and find out where those places are in you that you have doubts and insecurities within yourself, and let yourself grow into trusting yourself in those places in this time that you have to hunker down. Do you feel me on this? Who wants to repeat what I'm saying in the comments? Because this is some brilliant stream coming through. Follow your intuition. If you don't know how to follow your intuition, if you don't trust yourself and you're so used to following outside of yourself, this time is a wonderful time for you to play and tune into your intuition and do some work of seeing how you feel and seeing where you don't trust yourself. If you haven't been doing the work, or you've been out of touch with it for a minute, it's going to feel a little foggy, and you get to get back into it. Somebody is awakening with this stream, because my crown and third eye is starting to go funny. Who's feeling an active? Is that you, Naisha? Somebody's getting activated. Receive a miracle. Receive a miracle. Receive your own miracle by knowing the strength and fullness and totality of who you are. When you feel what doesn't work for you inside of you, where you feel the doubt. So much growth happens when we speak out what we're thinking. There's so much bullshit that can happen when we're just like got things running around in our head. And so if you can speak out in a safe space, that's why I have a guide. I'm a leader. I'm leading others. I want to make sure that my leadership is in integrity with the vision I've set for myself, no matter what. So my guide keeps me in integrity with what I've requested and intended. And those places where I get triggered and lose, or keep allegiance with the old paradigm, where I need to be more trusting, where I need to be more in my clear authority versus an old, painful, scary authority, where I need to wait a moment and think before I respond, where I'm allowed to say no, where I'm allowed to believe in the solution that comes through me and trust that because it came through me, there's actually somebody going to walk up right now and be synergistically connected to what I just thought about, because I'm doing the work to be clear and present with the moment-to-moment intuition and signals and miracles that are coming through. You don't get to be in that paradigm, but then close off certain parts of you because it's not convenient and the old paradigm is more in your face. Do you get me? Right? Like, you don't get to experience abundance and joy and then have a bad thing happen and decide that, well, that thing tells you that you don't get to have the thing. You still get to believe in your creation and allow your energy to fulfill that. And I know that experience of sort of giving up on it and then finally getting yourself back on board after a really dark night of the soul and really feeling like, holy shit, this is the end. Like, I can never do this. And this is all crazy. And then finally surrendering. Okay, I surrender. Like, it's not up to me. I am in surrender to the all that is. And a lot of times that surrender is sleep and rest. And, you know, just time to let your body go through. And after that moment, having that awareness of an idea that is the kind of thing where you think the idea and then the person comes and then another thing happens and solutions are provided because you're in the flow of your awareness and inspiration. And you're doing the work to clear the beliefs that say that's a bunch of baloney and you're not going to do that. And you're operating on the old paradigm. So this has nothing to do with whether you believe or not that there's a virus or anything. It really doesn't. This has to do with whether you believe in and trust yourself, and whether you're willing to let go of your inner childhood stories that say you're not allowed to stand up in leadership right now and be the kind of kind, benevolent, compassionate, and boss bitch authority that you are, and support yourself and others to continue to just evolve with roll with the punches, and to use technology to come up with solutions and to be in the moment. That's what we've all been talking about, isn't it? To be in the divine flow and to trust our instincts and intuition. So why are you going to freak out now and not, now does that mean you don't listen to, like, if there's a worldwide regulation going that you're supposed to chill out for a couple weeks? Well, calm down and go within. It's the reboot, Sherry. It's like the worldwide reboot. In fact, I was thinking that maybe I should run the reboot right now, run it again. And if anybody wants me to do a low-cost reboot for 3 days, just a fresh one, I'm totally down. For, because this is what it's about. This is about the daily experience of being you, no matter what. And I've chosen to frame my work in terms of you can make this much per month, because that was what the paradigm shift we all have been making, that we're allowed to shift beyond the rules and regulations of the cubicle and what we learned we can and can't have. And so you're invited, and you need to tap into that even more deeply today, that your vision and your feeling about your own capacity to lead and know who you are, and to clear your own energy, and to breathe, and to make the kind of choices that show not only your trust in yourself, but your trust in others, and that allow you to stay the course to the other side, through the darkness, through the fear, through the confusion, through the reboot, to a fresh state of being that is willing to wake up every day and be grateful, more and more grateful and blissful for whatever it is that we do have and who we are, and how we're allowing ourselves to enjoy the experience. And I'm not saying it's all enjoyable, but you can't let your body freak out and take over your mind and take over parts and pieces of you that actually have really important solutions right now. This is one of those, like, in that movie where Cher goes, snap out of it. That's what we need. We need you to be in charge of your body, right? If you go and think, oh, let's freak out and drink some alcohol and get all loose, when that's not what you do anymore, Don't do that shit. Like, keep doing your meditations and your squats. Like, do your push-ups. Drink your green shake. Do your breath work. Own your frequency. Don't let zombies take over your beingness when there's a whole lot, and we're empaths, right? Remember, there's a whole lot of people going to be collectively vibrating at a new resonance right now as the reboot happens. So are you going to be in your presence and health and wellness in this, or are you going to let the outward experience affect your choice of your inner being? You know way too much to go and do that now, right? Thank you for all the love hearts and the thumbs up. I feel some throat chakra here coming through. So I'm going to do a collective healing right now. Actually, I'm going to stand for this one. And I will be coming on with tones and things. But I do have an offer for you today. If you are one of my leaders that is totally resonating with this today, and you found yourself shifting into old paradigm stuff because your body's getting triggered in the collective fear because you're a powerful empath and a sensitive guide, I've got such amazing gifts and support for you that is rapid. There's allegiances and resonances and ties to programs and energy that if you can just clear that, you're going to be so much more powerful for yourself, for your family, and your business in this time where everybody's shifting gears. You want to be resilient. You want to be flexible. You want to be able to jump in the moment. Well, I got news for you. Most of you that tune into me have been control freaks and living on, certain systems and structures that feel comfortable to you. And those have been training you to understand what feels good to you and how to get beyond the last paradigm you were in, and now to go to the next level and stay true to your love and compassion and who you desire to be in these moments. You want to trust yourself and do everything you can to stay nourished in your breath, in your grounded presence, to clear any sort of programs and ideas that keep you from believing in your limitless capacity to connect to each other. Open up your intuition, open up your energy, learn how to master your energy, learn how not to take on other people's energy, learn how to heal the energy for yourself and others so that it's just instant. Activate into your genius. All this stuff is the kind of thing where it's like a ding and you get activated. You go through a certain few weeks of a shift and then you light up. Well, you've already gone through that shift and you're coming to me to stay in the momentum of that right now despite these triggers. You're highly sensitive and this stuff is like flicking all your body switches. So consciously you're cool, you're doing your affirmations, you know what's going on, but your body is awakened with terror because it knows that. And there's just too much of it in the collective. And you need to learn, you get to learn how to totally disconnect your own field and be aware and discern and shift the energy powerful and clear your auric field, clear your light body, clear your awareness of others on the subconscious level so that your conscious and your subconscious energy aligns and you can be effective and you can be in the flow. And shift quickly into where we are now and be of support for yourself and everyone. And so I'm here for you. I'm offering this program. It's a 3-week program and it's $3,000 for an individual because you're really going to be in there with me. And what I want to do is say that 6 of you can band together and be supported in a group container this way too. So if 6 of you put, I would like to be in a group container and are willing to be in a group container together, you can divide the cost. And that way, I can support more of you in a way that honors my energy, because I got to stay true to how I can be with my children and present with my clients and offer in new support to new clients too. So listen, you guys, I've learned so much about PTSD and the energy body and how to shift rapidly and how to heal and activate instantly. And this work can be, just time collapsing, powerful. And if your body is reacting to the energy, let's get in here. Let's do this. And you can share this work with your clients too, so that you're not having a reaction that's subconsciously creating timelines you don't desire. You feel me? So let's do a little toning here. Not a little, a beautiful toning here to open up and ground and center everyone into a place of resonance, and so that this message is received just intuitively without even ever having heard my words. When you hear this tone and receive and accept Say, I accept. You'll receive your own guidance for today and connect in with your own limitless capacity and release allegiance to the old paradigm and shift into the new paradigm of your own brilliant capacity to lead powerfully no matter what. Take a deep breath. Okay. I can't see anything without my... Hey, Vanessa. Maru, hello. Hey, Mark. Hi, Ariel. Hi, Kimberly. Hey, everybody. So let me know how that felt for you. And please private message me if you want to be in the group experience or if you want to understand how to release trauma from your body so that you can resonate more powerfully and overcome fear of standing up in leadership for your own highest desires in no matter what the situation, especially in times of crisis. Don't let energy of crisis take over your divine timing, your divine guidance, your divine inspiration, your divine connection to each other, and let yourself tune in. So it's so good to see everybody. Hey, Diane, and go to valtobi.com. I haven't updated my website, so this new program, I just dropping it today. And like I said, you can group together to have support, 6 of you, so that we can wake up every day and own our frequency and see where the energy is affecting you. I'd love to tell you the details. So this program that I'm offering right now, and I have other programs available too. Well, let's not talk about the program actually, because each of you are different. So, well, Vanessa's like, what's the program? I'd love to know more about you, and Vanessa, please go right now and fill out an application on valtopia.com. Even when you get to the bottom question about the investment, I want you to just fill out the question and let me know where you are in terms of all those questions. But here's the thing. Here's how I can support you, Vanessa, and each of you, is to really become so rapidly and deeply aware of your own body and understand where you are getting triggered in the sense of PTSD, and to clear and calm your own self and energy so that you can be more present with all the solutions and ideas that are coming through for you. Because we block our own best telepathic and heartfelt and soul-led connection to each other, where we actually would have much better solutions. I know, because I've lived a life where my divine guidance came through so strong that I would bust up my life for it, and I did over and over again. And when I tried to follow other people's rules and structures, it just never worked. Hi, Keisha. And yes, courageously submitting to the new, rising up. Yes. Hey, Tracy. And there are parts of us that will always try to pull us back down, and those parts of us, pull us back down to what we've known, and parts of us that haven't been capable, don't have solutions, can't overcome, don't know what to do, right? Those parts are within each of us. No shame in the game. We've all been through whatever we've been through. So your best bet in any time frame of your life, is to tune into where parts and pieces of you are in allegiance to that mistrust and that lack of faith. And so if your body right now is responding to a crisis and creating allegiance to the old program, we've got to root it out. We've got to root it out. We've got to see where it's happening. We've got to identify those beliefs. We've got to have compassion and forgiveness for the parts of you that thought that was all there's available to you, and regenerate in each and every moment with resilience and brilliance. Yeah, I was telling my client this morning, we have to get a little savage because certain times require a lot more flexibility, and honestly, when you're in the moment and in the flexibility of it, that's when you're actually tuned in to the connection of inspired, synergized ideas. Vanessa's been in that spot too, yes. So this whole stream is inspired by understanding a crisis before this crisis we've all been in, that we're all like feeling collectively. And understanding where allegiance to the old program will derail you from your divine brilliance and your solutions and your commitments to yourself, right? If you've made a commitment to yourself and you have a vision of who you are and it's been guiding you your whole life and you've been up and down and in and out of that cycle over and over again and you've triumphed again and again, remember, you will triumph again and again over and over, no matter what we're all going through. And so in each and every moment, we get to choose allegiance to the new ideas and beliefs we're creating for ourselves about who are we, what do we desire, how does it come in. Of course, it's going to shift all the time as we grow and evolve. But it doesn't change the fact that you have a beautiful process you're developing every day of being more aware of what you truly need and can create in this moment. But first, champagne. I don't even drink anymore, really. But so, right? Let me know if you have questions or how this is resonating for you. And I've been going for a while, so if you just popped on, you want to go back and see, because I felt like the message came through about 4 or 5 times on the stream, and I'm glad, because it needs to be said different ways to different people. And the most essential point of this stream is that your body, for most of you who watch me and need to work with me, your body has tricked you in the past from allowing all of your beingness to rise and shine. Hey, Rayanne. Yeah, and so any work you can do to become aware of your body and the strength of your awareness and where you have leaks and holes in your own belief system around who you are and how you operate in a time of crisis for yourself, you get to shift into support around it. You get to shift into support around it. So, for example, let's say nothing bad has happened to you and you've decided to take on a self-leadership course, and you decide to write the exercise, who am I in a time of crisis? In a time of crisis, isn't this a great question? Who am I in a time of crisis? Do I honor my commitments to myself? How do I react to a terrible news? What do I allow myself, and what am I available for and not available for? It sounds like calculated, like life just happens and we respond to it. But that's the old paradigm, right? Like, you get to be intentional about how you're going to respond to everything in your experience. And if you fall short, there's no shame in your game. If you fall victim to the fear, find out where it is in your body and love on that part of your body and get strong. You feel me? Do you feel me on this? Become the master of your own vessel in all times of being, and allow the strength of your infinite capacity to resonate through you more powerfully each day because of the devotional habits you have to listening into yourself no matter what is going on. There it is. So Vanessa, you were asking about the program, and I didn't explain the program. Basically, I would like to work with those of you who have done the self-help work, who do have a business and are understanding what I'm talking about on this live stream and are ready to help others understand it more powerfully. You already have been in your work, and this crisis situation that's emerging and erupting is triggering in you and your body, and we need to keep you in the momentum of your flow, of your leadership and your guidance, because what you have to offer right now is so beautiful. So if you're getting triggered because you think it's not right to show up right now, or if your voice's box is going hoarse because you're afraid to speak your truth, or if you've never done live videos but you have a powerful business and you need some support to figure out how to do a Zoom conferencing and own your leadership on a screen and working interactively and continuing in the momentum of what you were doing, do not let the crisis stop the level of leadership and support and guidance that you are bringing through. Those of you who come to work with me can figure out how to make money other ways. You don't come to make money with me because I'm teaching you just how to make money. I don't even teach you how to make money. I mean, we look at your business and your life. I'm here for you. But the idea is that you want to feel an integrity with your vision and your soul and who you are and feel at peace with that no matter what. And that's what I do. I have the full capacity. I've done it over and over again. It's about trust. And the reason we don't trust ourselves because there are parts and pieces of us that are in allegiance to other people, places, and things that no longer apply. And so every day we layer off more and more of that old stuff until after 6 weeks, like Rayanne just finished, and she's like fully Rayanne. She was showing up as that person. You could go look at her copy and see her soul coming through her copy. But if you talk to Rayanne 6 weeks ago in the flesh and over, you can hear in the Voxer versus the lady that comes through now, it's an alignment, it's an integrity fully. And she was coming through different periods of crisis during her glow up. And so we have to decide that there is no, this is what we've been talking about already leading up months and months before this live stream. Why does it take a crisis for you to own your frequency and your leadership? It doesn't need to, right? But we get to own our frequency and decide even in, and especially in times of crisis, that we are fully capable and the God stream does come through us all the time. And then when we're open and awakened to it and not plugged into mind fuckery and worry and wasting time on what ifs, and we're actually just like spending time creating breath and patience and grounding and regenerating ourselves and looking the other people in the eye and smiling and giving love and compassion and showing the fuck up the strength and the pillar of consciousness. Yeah? You feel me? All right. I'm back, Rayanne. I went into a little tunnel myself of understanding, and this live stream is the result and expansion of that tunnel of falling into a crisis and letting old paradigm thinking take the fuck over. Don't let that happen to you. This is why I have a guide, because I got tripped up. I was doing the work and switching in the motions and going through the motions, but on a bigger scale, there was some old beliefs that got triggered because of a crisis that got me to thinking I couldn't lean into some of the more forward thinking paradigms that I've actually chosen to embody, which include faith, trust, allowing inspiration to come through, being flexible in the moment, breathing, shifting energy. All these different things come together to create a powerful stream of you that has solutions. So let me read some of these comments. Vanessa says, yes, 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 yes. It's not till the crisis that has stopped me. It's other crisis. Yeah. The other crisis triggered now and will trigger even more. You're there right now. Well, Vanessa, go and apply or private message me. Crisis that happened when my son knocked you on your ass. Yes. See, this is what I'm talking about. And all of us collectively are going to be feeling a knock on our ass kind of experience, a domino effect. So don't those of you who have learned so much fall prey to that. This is my call to action. Get your ass in my group. Right now I'm doing a collective stream. 10 of you can join. Find guides. If it's not me, find somebody. Find a support group. Find a mastermind. Buddy up with somebody. You've got to find somebody to check you before you wreck you. Because most of us that are highly sensitive healers are also meant to guide. And there's a compassionate side to healing that mustn't fall victim to the old paradigm. Do you feel me? Oh yes, there's a charge, Vanessa. Absolutely, there's a charge. Yes. And so that's why I'm offering a group experience, because 6 of you can band together for the cost of 1 of you. Because this is about keeping your leadership and staying in focus of what's happening here. And it's a lot of work with me. It's a daily presence in the Voxer and a weekly 30-minute session and a community to come together in. And I have an offer for the first person who does the one-to-one. You're gonna get a portrait, and you get 3 months of access to Valtopia Celebrate. 3 months of monthly drops and daily presence in the group, and just energetic. A lot about working with me is being in the container. Once you're in the container, frequencies are coming through, but I'm not doing stuff for you. And that's what we're talking about today. You know, you're not a victim and you're not helpless, and I'm your guide and I'm your healer, and you are co-creating with me. And if I don't believe in your capacity to thrive, whether there's a crisis or not, how can I possibly guide and lead you through that? So I fully believe in you. Hey, Erica. And 2 paintings, beautiful. And that means that we have to continue to trust in our inspiration and to not decide, oh, well, a bad thing happened, so let me collapse, and I guess I can't have that. And, you know, there's no shame in what I'm talking about. And this, I want to speak about myself. Months and months showing up over and over again in a feeling that I was showing up before the crisis, and I didn't get the results I wanted, because even though I was physically showing up, writing posts, making offers, I didn't believe it fully, and parts and pieces of me were still in allegiance to the old paradigm. Do you know? Rayanne says we can have it all. And part of the reason Rayanne's glow up has just been, she's making $1,000 here, $1,000 cash infusions a week after the glow up is over. It's because she fully committed to having it all. And she had a lot of guilt and shame. She's a very loving, compassionate person. And the old program had her feeling humility and shame and allegiance to others, and seeing others as incapable, and her, you know, all the things that we do. That's the old paradigm. So I'm talking to you, those of you that know this shift, have been through it, maybe several times over. Probably you teach it to others. And this situation right now is triggering you. You need some shamama support to stay in your body. I didn't think you'd collapse, Rayanne. I don't think that it's about, like, am I going to collapse or not? I really don't. I don't think that's what it's about. Like, for example, today, Rayanne, the Samoa called me on something that I was totally blind to for quite a few weeks, and it's what I'm talking about today. It's a big one. And that took several weeks to develop and understand. You know? It's not about, like, oh, I have a guide, I'm not going to collapse. It's like, oh, I am on this wild-ass journey that is going to question everything about what I know and keep bringing me back into a state of pressure, because that's what I choose, because that's who I am. And that's who I work with. I work with clients like Rayanne and Keisha who are ready to rise up into their highest self. And that doesn't mean that they haven't collapsed at times or couldn't find the strength or got lost along the way. It means that they did find their way and come back up this time, and now they're coming up again and again. Every time. Like, we all breathe and, you know, flow in our beingness, and we choose guides to keep us aligned to our highest vision in a more rapid way and in a more powerfully impactful way than we could by ourselves, because we have blind spots and exactly what I'm talking about today. Triggers can happen, crises can happen that trigger an unconscious response in our body that then cause us to have unwanted, irrational, and subconscious thoughts that then create timelines and energy we don't desire. It's our job to clean up our own space and support ourselves so powerfully by being really clear, as clear as we can. So I love that you did that. Well, it's about trust, right? So of course you're going to trust yourself, right, Rayanne? That wasn't the issue. That's not the issue. That's not your issue now. And that's fucking amazing to feel that level of trust in yourself and to be that magnetic and to be calling in those cash infusions. And each and every one of us has the capacity to do this, you guys. Vanessa, to take a look at our gifts and our knowingness and what we have to offer and how we want to guide that in this moment now. Like if you think you were supposed to have a web page up and you were supposed to be having all this stuff going on, you know, or maybe you already had a whole plan for a launch and all this stuff. None of it really matters right now, does it, right? So just be in the moment. Ooh, someone's throat chakra is just popping like crazy. I want to burp it out. Woo! Painful. There we go. And if you guys are new to me, I burp on my live streams because that's how I clear energy. And all of you can learn to be more present and mindful with the energy inside of your own body and how you can move it. It will change things deeply. But at the deepest level, when you get to this advanced state where you're moving into higher and higher levels of dollars and achievement that you haven't gone to yet, and your ego is tripping, do not let a crisis stop you from following your divine vision and knowing what you're called to be and do. That's inside of you no matter what. Okay? So, as you're called, go private message me. Go to valtopia.com, sign up right now, and understand that the more you do to support your body, to release attachment to a story that you are incapable, helpless, and can't come up with solutions and ideas in changing times is bullshit, and rise up and be the leader that you are. Lead yourself first. Get the support you need. You burnt a bunch with me. Good. Let's see. You cut yourself out from all the support that I was supporting in the old paradigm and accepted it, and now backing yourself up fully. I love it. I love it. Yep. Yes. And that, this work isn't about like, oh, I have a healer and she just like works on me and I don't have to do anything. It's not like that. It's about having someone look at you and point out to you where your beliefs aren't in alignment with the vision that you desire to be the leader that you are, to bring through the solutions and the love and the frequency and the energy that you are. It's about knowing that that's real, even though in this moment you may not feel fully like it. And that doesn't look like it around here. That, it's like the best example I have is Martin Luther King, He had a dream. And when he spoke about that stuff, everything around him wasn't anything like what it became. Right? Yeah, we do it together. We do it together. And investing in a guide and a healer that teaches you to make your own money from your own gifts and incorporate, the best of you to shine and allow your genius to come through you is a collaborative experience that requires both the guide and the person being guided to commit to the experience fully and to allow our divine collaboration. We're like receptacles, and you and I are doing the work together to flush out beliefs that don't align with this, what we're talking about. That we are ready to receive solutions, that we are full of synergy and synchronicity, that we are capable of connecting to each other on all the dimensions and completely shifting the energy in such powerful ways with our heartbeat and our beingness. And so together we allow the knowingness to open ourselves up and trust in that. And we don't, in places and parts of ourselves where we think it's not good or we can't do it, we speak it to the guide that we have. And the guide says, that's not true, and they help you through. And it's not that you're weak or you don't know how to take care of yourself or, someone who has a guide versus someone who doesn't, anything's better or not. It's about us like arm in arm coming to do what we said we were going to do, our passion and purpose, which is to live fully and live a better life. No matter what. Who are you in a time of crisis? You're going live on the page about tomorrow's challenge. I love it. Yes. All right, so listen, private message me right now. Be the first person to book the one-to-one over the next 3 weeks. It's a $3,000 investment. You would get the portrait. You get access to the Valtopia Celebrate for 3 months. and there was something else. It's all very powerful. Or be in the group connection, and you can invest together, and we're going to do this together. We're going to release attachment to the old program in our body, mind, and being, and set fresh boundaries and standards so that we can bring through the solutions we're going to need in these wacky times. I love you guys. Own your frequency. There's nobody like you. Share this. If you felt like this was powerful, go like my business page. Join me on Instagram. Help me put hashtags on my Instagram. I don't know what the heck's going on there. Go on Valtopia.com. And let's do this together. Okay? See you next time.